What's going on, guys? King Shrats here, back in the video on the channel. Today we got a little variation on some French dips and, well, that thing. What we did was we had some pork tenderloin, which we put in the pressure cooker, made sure it got nice and happy, seasoned it up, made a gravy using the dripping, so we got that on the side. On the bottom of this is actually cheddar garlic mashed potatoes because I was gonna make that originally, but I wanted a sandwich. So we made a little variation of the two. So that's what we got, little pork French dip. It's not French at all, it's more like an American dip. Even though I'm calling them French dips, they have absolutely nothing to do with the French dip because that usually comes with roast beef, provolone cheese, or Swiss, usually Swiss, and you make the pan drippings from that. So that's the style. Another thing, by the way, I'm being a food nerd again. French dips were not invented in France and have nothing to do with France whatsoever. They were actually invented in LA. Yeah, we do that. So these ain't French dips. Those aren't French dips. They're LA dips. It is what it is. But we used cheddar cheese instead because that is all I had. But they're still going to be, I'm telling you, they're going to bang. I know it. I didn't taste it yet, but you can, you know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let me pour my drink and let's get into what we do best. We got our lemon lime poverty seltzer. These are from Wegmans. I've never been to Wegmans. You can't even really see that because it's like mad reflective. But lemon lime seltzer from Wegmans. I didn't go to Wegmans. Somebody else went to Wegmans, but they bought me seltzer because everybody knows I like seltzer, so thank you. And anyway, as I pour this, let's get this going here with a little ice. If you are digging the content, go ahead and hit a like, subscribe, thumbs up, and all of that cringy YouTube stuff that you have to say because people tend not to. And also to the one person who watches them the first 5 minutes and hits that thumb down, I see you and I love you anyway. I don't know if you think that's supposed to make me upset, but I love you so much. You watch every video. So it is what it is. Hey, French dip, American dip. This goes with the sandwich, so this doesn't count. If I say I always have to have the first one without condiments, that doesn't count on this one. So let's get in here real quick. Never mind. You know what? Let's get that vegetable out of there because y'all be making fun of me. There's vegetables in here. You just can't see them. American French dip. Oxymoron. Wow. Wow. I have to start writing this stuff down. I don't know what I put in here. I forgot what I seasoned it with. I know it's garlic because there's always garlic. After that, it's fair game. Terrible. I'm actually a huge fan of French dips. But roast beef has mad calories. So we use pork tenderloin. It's the only reason, really. But that au jus, the pan drippings, make a little gravy from that. I ran out of protein. The tenderloin's only so big, but I had extra turkey sausage. So I made a sausage and mashed potato. And you're from the UK, you might know that as bangers and mash. I don't know why I think of this stuff. But yes, that is actually a thing in the UK, bangers and mash, sausage. Some weird stuff in the, I don't say weird, I love y'all in the UK, I hope y'all know that. I'm just saying weird because we don't eat that kind of stuff here. Yeah. All right. Had the opportunity. I knew. I was cool with like some of the foreign exchange students when I was at school. I always gravitated towards people from other countries because I like to learn about culture, and plus they had food that I couldn't get. So, yeah. There was like a couple of them from the UK. And I used to make bangers and mash, bubble and squeak. That's the thing. And it's not even anything close to what you're thinking it is. The funny thing is, they never made fish and chips. And that's all I thought they ate in the UK. But apparently, instead, most people don't make that at home. They go to what's called like a chippy. Y'all got a whole different slang over there. I love it. I do. It's crazy how we speak the same language, but we don't speak the same language. Because if you come over here and you ask for chips, you're getting potato chips, which is what you call crisps. But you don't call them fries, you call them chips. And I still can't make heads or tails of it, but in case anybody from the US doesn't know that kind of stuff, I figured I'd throw that in there too. But their fish and chips is actually really good. There was a place in New York City that makes it. I don't think it's there anymore though. But it was like, they use like a beer batter, and it's usually cod. Good stuff. Excuse me. I actually have like a few people that I'm cool with from Australia too. One of which used to come visit me every year, and he would like the craziest stuff that we had here, like the most basic stuff, like just like a plain slice of cheese pizza, because they don't have like the right pizza over there, you know. Or we would go to Walmart every single time, and he would get like Little Debbie's snack cakes, which, like, if you're from here, I don't know, Little Debbie's not a nationwide thing though, is it? I'm not sure. But we would just get like cosmic brownies from Little Debbie's, which like, I mean, yeah, I ain't, but I wouldn't write home about it. I forget the first time you had a honey bun. If y'all never had a honey bun, to me, honey buns are the GOAT poverty snack. That was like my go-to growing up, was the honey bun. I'll still house like several honey buns. I don't care. The difference with me and a lot of people, they had two different kinds of honey buns. They had the regular joint, which just had a little glaze on it, and then they had the iced one, which used to have like literally like icing. It was almost white. I used to just prefer the glazed joints. I used to go to a little corner store with $1, and you'd come out and eat like a king. Get you a honey bun, 25-cent bag of chip, and you could get a can of soda back then, 90s, for 25 cents. C&C Cola. Y'all don't know about this. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. You got to be from the East Coast to have a C&C Cola. It's crazy how much inflation has changed the price of stuff, because you could eat with $1. No joke. Like, and eat good. Most places too, they would sell, we used to call them Lucy's, but a Lucy, technically speaking, is a cigarette. You could buy it. If you go to like a hood spot corner store, you buy a Lucy for $1, like a cigarette. Now, I obviously was a kid, I didn't smoke, but we used to call it that because we thought we were cool. They had like boxes of candy, you know, M&Ms, you know, Sour Punch straws, the straw joints, things like that, gummy bears, the little rings, like the peach ones, and you could get like whatever. You get like 15 cents worth of candy, and they would put it in a little bag and be walking around with a bag of candy. But now you can't get nothing with $1. You can't even get a cup of coffee with $1 these days. You used to be able to go to the vending machine. I drank this whole thing. I didn't even feel like it. You used to be able to go to the vending machine with a quarter and get like a bag of chips or a can of soda. And I remember when I started getting older, like towards like, you know, middle school, you know, so like now you're talking like 2000s, and them raising the price of like soda to like $1, and me being like like mad. Because, like, I learned as I got older to not sweat the small stuff. But, you know, I was a chubby kid, man. That meant the world to me because now I had to get extra money. Being able to eat with that $1 was everything. But by that time, we stopped going to corner stores. We started riding our bikes, so like, we upgraded. We thought we were cool. Get our bikes and we go to like Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King. It was like a daily thing in the summer. I know fast food is like, you know, not healthy. I've been eating fast food my whole life. The funny part is, even though with these eating contests that or challenges that I do, I eat way less fast food than I did in high school. I used to eat fast food every day. You know, I would say probably 5 times a week. From 3rd grade all the way through high school. It doesn't help that in my area, there's a lot of fast food. There's a street, and it's just, on this one street, there's a Taco Bell. I can actually see it in my head. A Pizza Hut, KFC, a Burger King, a Dairy Queen, 4 pizza places. Yes, 4. On that one street. Like, I didn't even go across the block yet. I'm just talking this one block. A diner, a Dunkin' Donuts, a Subway. There used to be a restaurant called Roy Rogers, but it doesn't exist anymore. Roy Rogers was the GOAT. I think there's only like 3 left in the whole state. And Roy Rogers was the GOAT for me because 2 reasons. Number 1, I personally don't like much stuff on my burgers, you know. If you watch any of my like fast food ones, you know I don't get lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle, any of that stuff. So Roy Rogers used to give you the burger with nothing on it. But they had like basically like a salad bar in the restaurant, which they would call like the fixins bar. So if you want ketchup, mayo, you gotta go to the fixins bar and put it on yourself. That was right up my alley because I don't like that stuff anyway. But they also serve fried chicken. Burgers and fried chicken. Why are there not more places doing this? Roy Rogers and the Hood Spot, Monroe Street Chicken. I used to live in the hood. When I left, well, before I left, I used to go get fried chicken from this one spot. It's not there anymore either. I used to go back in high school because I used to get my haircut there. In the same block that I grew up as a little kid. I used to go back when I was in high school because, you know, we thought it was cool. We used to go over there and get a haircut. And he used to have burgers. Yo, fat burgers. I swear to God, like bigger than Whoppers. Like thicky patty. And a fried chicken place. It served burgers too. The burgers were $1, bro. $1 burgers. And it didn't look like no junior bacon cheeseburger. It was like bigger than the burgers you got at home. Happy days. But then anybody who comes from like an inner city, especially in my area, you know about this restaurant. Other places they call it Rallies, but they put a Checkers up right next to the same place I got my haircut. So the chicken joint wasn't there anymore. Checkers slapped though. In this area, they only have Checkers in like hoods. You gotta go to a hood to go to Checkers. I haven't been to Checkers in a minute. Actually, that Checkers isn't there anymore either. But you should go to Checkers. Checkers, I don't. If you're not from, you probably had like it's called Rallies. It's the same exact restaurant. It's almost like Hardee's and Carl's Jr. I'm not sure why they call it 2 different names, but it's the same exact restaurant. And by the way, Speaking of Hardy / Carl's Jr., this needs to be said. Excuse me. Hardee's is trash. We had a Hardee's when I was in college because I lived on a like, it doesn't matter the name of the street, but I lived by where all the stores, right across the street from the mall, which is like 4 stores and 7 years ago. No, it was literally 5 stores, a tattoo parlor, and like 2 restaurants, and they called it a mall, which, you know me, my East Coastness, I was like, this ain't no mall. So I lived there off campus when I was like a junior, senior, and a super senior, meaning grad school. And on this block, they had a KFC, Taco Bell, Papa John's, Long John Silver's, Famous Dave's, which used to bang as a barbecue place. A Ponchero's is a burrito place. This place called Who Hot, which was like super. I mean, I'm going, why am I talking about all these restaurants? If anybody knows who owns this chain called Who Hot, can you please bring one to the, like, what are you doing? I tell people, because it's a franchise, mainly in the Midwest. They call it a Mongolian Grill. There's nothing Mongolian about it, but that's besides the point. Me and my roommate used to go there. We used to party on Fridays, go there Saturday afternoon for lunch, every, whatever, like clockwork. If you don't know what it is, let me break this down for you. Because the idea, like, why are there not more of these, and why is it not on the East Coast? This is like my fat anger coming through. Check this. You walk in, you pay the people, beforehand, and you tell them you're getting, probably should say like the lunch special or the dinner special, which was this. They'll bring you an egg roll and like a thing of white rice or fried rice. And then you walk up to like what almost resembled a salad bar, but no, there wasn't a salad. And you had to do it in this order. They give you this big bowl, right? And then first you pick your proteins, of which there's like, you put your own protein in the bowl. It's not cooked. It's frozen. Semi-frozen. Which was like every kind you can think of. Shrimp, to pork, to beef, to chicken, to like everything in between. The next station you would go to, you would pick out, and you walk down a line. You would pick out your noodles. So, they had like 10 different kinds of noodles, right? You know, from lo mein to so on and so forth. It was kind of like an Asian theme, but it wasn't Mongolian, but they called it Mongolian, whatever. Then next you would pick out your sauces. There were like 30 sauces, and you could mix and match. So you could take like a scoop of this, a half a scoop of that, and they had like coconut curry to like regular teriyaki, all the way in between, all these mad sauces. I used to like make these crazy concoctions, right? Next aisle, you pick your vegetables. So, your broccoli, you know, all the stuff you would get in like a stir fry. It was like a stir fry, more or less, but you made your own. Almost like how Blaze Pizza, you pick your stuff, and then they cook it for you. But it was that, but with like Asian food. Not Asian food, like, you know, stir fry. You know what I mean. I don't want to say Asian food because that's like a slap in the face like real Asian food, because it was, I mean, you know, this place was known like the Asians at all. But you know, not even Mongolian. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, so you go up front, and they had a line of chefs, which were people that I usually knew. I used to see people at Who Hot, like in the bar. And I'm like, yo, you gonna be there tomorrow? Swear to God. Anyway, you hand it to them. They cook it up for you. Go sit down at your table. They put it in a plate for you. Put it on your table. Smash the plate, and you could go as many times as you wanted. WID or no? Why are they not here? I had to Google this because I was telling people around here about it. And like, yo, that sounds awesome. How come I can't go there? There's none on the East Coast. Like, what are we doing? I'm gonna buy Who Hot. I don't get that kind of money, but I want to put one up here. Yo, I used to go there. It used to bang. I'm telling you. Think about making your own stir fry. Like whatever sounds good to you, and they cook it. You ain't gotta cook it. So you go up there, you know, I used to go up there like 4 or 5 times, different combinations. Oh, try this kind, try this kind. Yo, mix these 2 sauces. You know, you talk to, because you have 2 or 3 of your friends. It was at Hoo Hot where I had the idea, the bright idea, the brilliant idea, that I wanted to pierce my face. Twice. Both times I was at Hoo Hot. There's something about that place that just made me want to poke holes in my face. So, the lip ring, everybody asked about that. I actually got, when I was at, starting to sweat from, because this is actually spicy. I put the bulldog sauce in. Don't matter, it's all good. Excuse me again. I hate burping on camera, but I really do. The first time I said, yo, I'm just gonna get a lip ring, and my friends were like, what? Like, yeah, because the piercing place was, don't let me be near piercing or tattoo places when I'm like under the influence of anything. To this day, I haven't done this in probably, what, like 10 years ago? 10 years. A little under 10 years. Almost 10. We're almost there. When I was in college, whenever I was like, I did it twice in Texas, once on spring break, once while I was in Austin. They didn't have one last year, but every year in Austin, there's like a music film festival called South by Southwest. I went when I was like a junior. That was wild. But yeah, in Austin, if you don't know, there's a street called 6th Street. There's just bars, like you can like just bar after bar after bar after bar. University of Texas is in Austin, if you don't know, and it's just this long street of bars. And I was there during South by Southwest, so it was a lot of like bands and stuff, which isn't really my thing, but you know, again, this is college me talking. Women were my thing, so they were at these places, so I was there too, listening to this stuff, bands and, you know, movie stuff, and there was all kinds of places. You know, there's places that played hip hop, like not just like rock bands, but I'm not really like a live music type of guy. But they're like smaller venues, bars. Anyway, there was one bar specifically. It was called the Blind Pig. I don't know if it's still there. I don't know what it is. I just know because I woke up with a Blind Pig t-shirt on. I wish I was making this up. Anyway, next to the Blind Pig, there was a tattoo parlor. So I got the bright idea during being at the Blind Pig that I was going to get a tattoo. I went right before closing. I tattooed a panther on my stomach. There's nothing else to the story. There's a panther on my stomach. Why is there a panther on my stomach? Well, I wish I had some kind of cool significance to it, because most of my tattoos do. But my school's mascot was the Panthers. So I got a panther. Panther. I have a few like that. The very next year, I think I told this one, that we went to South Padre, and South Padre Island is literally right, it's in Texas, but it's right on the border. You can't go any further south. In fact, when we got there, we went to a Walmart in South Padre Island, and everything in that Walmart was in Spanish. There was nothing, no writing in English. Luckily, I was the only one who could speak and read Spanish, so I was like the tour guide on this trip. But I'd say about 3 days in, same idea. We went to a place called Señor Frogs. There's also one in Cancun, but we went to Señor Frogs in South Padre Island. Now, if you've never been to South Padre Island, you have no idea the debauchery that goes on in South Padre Island. Debauchery. Look it up. Debauchery. Lots of debauchery. I don't know. Señor Frogs, there's a lot of festivities. I'm trying to keep this PG. Long story short, I was with a friend, acquaintance. I don't remember her name. I can't lie. I don't really remember her name. Cool person, though. She was great. Anyway, there was about that time where we were acquaintancing, which just really meant we were like at the bar, me, my friends, her friends. You know, we hung out for the week for the most part, and never talked after that again. That's not the important part of the story. The important part of the story is, at this bar, there was lots of adult beverages flowing. I hadn't been home. What was this? Spring break is what, in May? I can't even remember because I'm old now. I think it's in May. Like beginning of May, end of April? Might be. Might not be. Somewhere around there. But when you play football, if you are going deep into the season, you don't go home. So we didn't go home for spring break. Or spring break for like winter, Thanksgiving, we didn't go home. So in the calendar year, I've seen my family maybe once or twice. I think they came to a game, and I went home for Christmas, but it was for like 5 days. So, long story short, I was a little, I missed my family. I love being on my own, but I also love my family, so I was really under the adult beverage-ness, and as every story goes with me, there was a tattoo parlor next to Senior Frogs, and I called my mom, 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern time. To my surprise, she picked up. She probably thought something was wrong. She knew I was in South Padre, so she probably thought I got arrested of some sort. And I called her and I said, Mom, I love you. And she said, Dave, I love you too. I said, no, you don't get it. You know how when you're drunk, you're just like, nah, you don't understand. Like, yo, you're the best, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tattoo your name on me. So I did. Think it's this one? Yep. It's my mom's name. Yeah. I think those are the only tattoos. I've gotten 3 piercings. All of which were at Seaside Heights, New Jersey. AKA home of the Jersey Shore cast. This was before the show, though. The show got popular when, I want to say I know I was in college. Maybe like sophomore year. But by that time I was like 19. And people don't know if you're not from here. Seaside Heights, in my area at least, is where you go when you are not old enough to go to the older places, which are like in Belmar or Point Pleasant. Seaside Heights, there's a lot more hotels, so you would go out in hotels and kind of mingle in between hotels and then go to the boardwalk and walk around. For people who are fans of the show, I will tell you this. No one that I've ever known, again, generation before me or after me, went to Karma, the place that was extremely popular. I've never known anybody, personally. I grew up in this area, and most of the people migrate down to the shore, has gone to Karma. There's 2 bars in Belmar that I don't like, because honestly, they're kind of gross. But those are the more popular spots, especially when you're in your 20s, early 20s, legal age to go to bars, in other words. There's a bar called DJ's, and there's a bar called Bar A, which is short for Bar Anticipation, I believe, but no one calls it that. You call it Bar A. Those are the 2 more popular places. I don't really like the shore. I don't like the beach. I used to just like going to the boardwalk and just chilling. But I've been to DJ's and it's not my thing. And I've been to Bar A, which I like better because it was much more open. DJ's was like a bandbox, and it's just hot and sweaty, and there's just stuff all over the floor, and they throw paper towels and hit you in the face, and the subwoofer is the size of this room, and I just don't want to be there. But anyway, Seaside. This always happens if you can't see the recurring theme. I didn't tell this one story while I finished this last sandwich. Seaside Heights. We're in there's a motel called the Glendale. I remember all this stuff. And me and my idiotic friends thought it would be a good idea if we could have a lot of adult beverages and make an adult beverage pyramid. We finished that pyramid the first day. I met a girl walking with my friend on the shore, the boardwalk. Literally just, and I'm not bold like this, but my friend was. I'm not going to say I don't think he watches my stuff, but I don't need to incriminate anybody else, but he was bold. Like, he didn't care. He was like, whatever. So he was like, hey, see 2 girls. Somehow he ended up on one side of the boardwalk without me, and I ended up on the other side of the boardwalk. The boardwalk's very long, without him. And for some unforeseen reason, we decided, me and this girl. That's probably my idea, but I can't remember. That we were going to get piercings. So she said that she wanted to get her nipple pierced, and I said I wanted to get my tongue pierced. But somehow I ended up getting my nipple pierced, and she got her tongue pierced. I did that. I did it 3 times at Seaside. So technically speaking, I've had 3 nipple rings. I don't have any anymore. Yes, 3. I don't have 3 nipples. I got 1 pierced twice because 1 came out. So I got it done again. And then I was like, okay, I'm too old for this, so I'm going to take it out. And then I think it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. One of my close friends, he was going through like a heartbreaky kind of thing, where we went to Seaside because like the girl he was talking to had a house down there, but she kind of ghosted him the same day. So me being, you know, I gotta be a friend to my dude. So I'm like, yo, all right, now screw this. Now we gonna go to the bars at Seaside. I'd never been to any of these places. We're gonna forget all this. We're gonna have some fun. You'll meet some new people, forget it. So we went to this, like a Mexican restaurant, which was a bar too. And they served these, you've seen these, I'm sure. It's like the, you know, the giant margaritas, but there's like 2 Coronas hanging in it. Don't drink those, bro. Oh man. I had about 3 or 4 of those. As did he. And I don't know why, but not anymore. But when, and especially like in my early to mid 20s, like, you know, I would pierce things. Not that kind of stuff, nasties. I'm just talking about like I was like, okay, I'm getting a nipple ring. So we were at these and I had like 4 of them. I'm like, yo, I'm going to get a nipple ring. I'm like, you're getting one too. He was like, no, I'm not. I said, yeah, you are. I'm paying for it. I don't care. Be a man. So I did. I paid for it. I used to have the foot, like because I taped it on my old phone, bad quality. It was an iPhone, but like, that doesn't look like the ones now. Because this was like mid-20s. This was like, you know, 5 years ago. And I don't know, I pierced my nipple for the 3rd time. And he pierced his ones. We both took him out at this point. But I don't know. I used to do that. I was the guy that when you went out, I'd disappear. And I'd get up with y'all in the morning. I did it every time. In fact, the last day when I was in South Padre, we were leaving at noon, and I woke up, not with them, at about 11:42. I regret nothing. And my phone's blowing up. I'm like, yo, we're leaving. I'm like, alright. So I took a cab, ran in there, just threw all my stuff, and then peaced out. I regret nothing. But now I'm old, and I spend my time talking into a camera about stupid stuff that I used to do. Cheers. That was so good. You can tell because there's like no gravy left. Gravy running through my veins right now. It's probably about 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes, it's 3:41 a.m., which is early for me. Try to get in a little rest because there's a lot of shoveling in the past few days. And there's like no parking in front of either of my studios, so I gotta try to. There's like snow banks. I'm 6'1". The snow banks are about 6'1". So I gotta try to clear one of those out to make like another parking spot because A lot of people had nowhere to park today. People in my New Jersey put chairs up when they dig themselves out. And if you move that chair or try to attempt to park in their spot, you're going to get in a fist fight. And I'm too old to get in a fist fight at this point, so I'm just going to dig one out. Today I moved the chair. I was feeling dangerous. I don't want to play with fire, because if somebody says the wrong thing, y'all gonna see me, I'm gonna be doing mukbangs from prison, and I don't need that either. So anyway, it's been your boy King Strats. Man, that was delicious. We will be back tomorrow. I hope. What's tomorrow? What's today? It'll be Thursday when you're seeing this. Yeah, there should be content tomorrow. We'll come up with something anyway. We'll be back tomorrow. More content. I love y'all. Hand signs. I've made it to YouTube.